Welcome back to Daybreak and thank you for staying with us. So, today on the interactive segment, we will be discussing the new minimum wage protest sweeping across Nigeria. So, the Nigerian Labour Congress, that's the NLC, deadline for December 1st has passed, and some states are scrambling to implement the new 70,000 naira minimum wage. Now, we know that the NLC issued out a bit of threats to the state governors, state governments of every state that has yet to implement the 70,000 naira, including the state, government that promised and said, oh, we have accepted this minimum wage and we will implement it, and yet to implement, and those that have been even silent on whether they truly want it. But we already know how that argument has gone so far, because there was a lot of pushback from the state governors and government not to accept the new minimum wage. So states like that's after the NLC have issued out that threat. States like Kaduna or Katsina and Nasarawa promised, saying, oh, we have approved this minimum wage. But then even at that, we've had concerns for NLC, representatives in this state say that we heard our governors saying this is approved, but there is no pin put in place yet. There is no plan. There was no sitting with the NLC representatives in that state to start this. So it's like back to square one. So these states are saying they have approved, while others like Kaduna and Ebonyi faces a strike. And so far today, about 5 states have embarked on this strike. We're talking about 5 states in the country, including the FCT, Federal Capital Territory, Cross River State, Nasarawa, Ebonyi, Kaduna, and Zamfara states today have started. Now, we're yet to receive any other state joining, but would wait and see in the course of the week, or the day rather. So, yes, this is what we want to hear from you. We want to hear what you think. What's your thoughts on this? Do you support this strike? Share your thoughts and give us a call or send a WhatsApp message. The numbers will be displayed on your devices. Now, the first number would be the number you send WhatsApp message to, or you can call any of the message. Let's dive into this conversation. Let's hear your take on what you think about the strike that the NLC are embarking on starting yesterday, Sunday, the 1st of December, on states not implementing this. All right, we have our first caller. Good morning. Please turn down the volume of your device. Good morning.
Good morning, Summayya.
Good morning, Shatima from Maiduguri. It's good to have you.
Thank you. Your name remains Shatima Kutima, calling from Maiduguri.
Always a pleasure.
About the minimum wage. I support the labor on that. Why? Because if you look at the way the kind of economy that we are getting, even the minimum wage is too meager. Very, very meager. How can the state government can say it will not pay? After all, it has become a law. They impose a law on us, we follow. Even though they say law is a set of rules made by superior to inferior and followed by sanction. We agree for that. But why, at their own part, they are not playing their own role? Look at the kind of money that they are receiving at the end of the month in of grants. What are they doing with it? How can a governor cannot pay 70,000 for a worker? Do you want these workers to die? After all, the common man is dying. And this salary that the workers are receiving is the one that pushing it become a vehicle for commerce in every state. How can you say you will not pay? You have to pay, you must pay. If any government that cannot pay, let labor negotiate with the federal government to withhold his the monthly grant that is given to him. Why? Because he's not doing anything with it. Apart from salary, what are you going to pay? What are you doing? They are building this why they say a bridge and all these things. It's not our problem. And our problem is to take good care of the people. good welfare of the people. Even security has become something else in this country. Schools are not functioning well. There is no good roads. What are they doing with the money? So I totally support the label. Let them push them whatever level they will go. Let them pay. Even it will lead to a massive protest. Let it be.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Shatima, for sharing your take. Now, Shatima's call is he supports what that the Labour are going on the strike on some of the states that are yet to implement the new 70,000 naira new minimum wage. One of his concerns that I heard is the fact that the 70,000 naira is not even enough. And I think that was one of the things that caused even the delay of the tripartite committee, talking about the federal government or the state government, labor union, and even private sectors, agreeing on the new minimum wage. And this happened when Naira was about 617 Naira. No, when I'm talking about when fuel per liter was 617 Naira. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, your name and where you're calling from.
I'm Abubakar from the Abubakar government area of Niger State, Nigeria.
Good to have you from Niger State. Let's hear your take on the labor union's decision.
Thank you very much. It's a very good opportunity having us today.
Of course.
Well, the issue of minimum wage, I think I'm sorry to say that government itself, right from federal government, they are not serious. Government is not serious. The labor leaders are not serious. And we the masses are not also serious. Because what the kind of treatment federal government is giving us, I don't think is fair at all. Because even at the federal level, the minimum wage is not implemented. Not to talk of state levels and local government levels. What they did to federal workers is just to get them flat rate of 40,000 naira. That was for September salary, and October salary, it was not even up to 40,000 naira. So is that the minimum wage that they promised us? So I'm struggling in support of labor shutting down the country. Because though my fear is even the laborers, the way they are moving, I don't think that they are serious. Because this government needs to be needs to be
held accountable.
Put on that, hold accountable. Because the way they are taking there is high cost of living in all ramifications. Even farmers can no longer go to farm again. Foodstuffs are very difficult to get, and they are very expensive. So there's nothing that is left for ordinary citizens to manage again. People are dying of hunger, dying of sicknesses. All these are the result of the bad policies. The present government has left against us. So government at all levels should do something that will pushing the effect of all these bad policies. Otherwise, they will be encouraging people to go into criminalities, whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
Prayer cannot solve the issue of increase in social crisis, because government on its own is not doing the needful. You want people to go into manufacturing sector, to go to farming, and you are not creating an enabling environment for them. Even going to offices is no longer attractive again. There will no longer be productivity and efficiency in the work service, in the workplace. Because everything, somebody who has not eaten cannot give out his best. Talk of retirees again, that one is a complete mess. Somebody who retire at even federal level for more than a year without having his pension or gratuity. Is that the government they promise us?
Yeah, I feel your pain. I feel your frustration on this matter.
So there is frustration at all levels of nook and cranny of Nigeria. Nobody is enjoying it. And if they allow people to be pushed to the wall, entirely, the adverse effect of it cannot be controlled by government.
Yeah.
So government should not push us to what they cannot bear at wrong.
We hope we don't get there. But thank you so much.
No, please. No. It's just that it's the level of the level of our patience in Nigeria that government is taking for granted. We have been patient with government enough.
Yeah.
They should look into the conditions of poor masses.
Okay.
Which is even those that are not even collecting. For example, we are collecting salary. At least we are expecting something at the end of the month. But those are not collecting salary.
Well, we'll take one step at a
time.
We keep holding them accountable until we get, what Nigeria.
We must collectively hold them accountable.
Yeah, indeed.
And we must be united for that.
Of course.
God will continue to make it easy for us and our leaders. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate your, thoughts and how to move the country forward. At the end of the day, we are all calling for one country, one great country, because we know the potential that our country has, and these are things we're just pushing for. So this is not blame game. This is us just pointing out what is wrong in order to find a better solution. He spoke about people who have even missed out the thoughts of they don't even have the job, and yet the economy is not favorable. So how are we going to cope with if you cannot even afford to pay the people that are already working for the government? Good morning.
Good morning, my sister.
Yeah, your name and where you're calling from?
I'm Kure by name, calling from Kaduna.
Kure from Kaduna.
K-U-R-E.
Yes, Kure.
Yes.
I got that right. So Kaduna State is one of the states that have, embarked on the strike today. What is your take on that?
Honestly, let me follow the footsteps of the last caller that just dropped. You see, it's only in this country that those that suffer, they cannot enjoy what they are suffering from. I urge any state that do not implement this minimum wage, honestly, they should go on that side. I'm in support of it 100%. I'm not a civil servant. I live work over 13 years now. But they should just do the needful. You cannot expect. They are the people that are working, while the politicians are busy cornering the taxpayer, allegedly. So me, I'm support. Any state that do not implement it, they should go on that side. That's the language that the government knows. That's the language that the government used to take it so serious. So I'm in support.
Okay.
In my state, according to the workers, that some, instead of increasing, they are even reducing it for them. I don't know what is wrong with you. If somebody is serving you, if you are not enjoying the services, you send him packing. How does that? It's in the law there. If somebody is serving you, you cannot enjoy the services. You just send him packing and give him his wages. But the advice is only in this country or in Africa that nobody cares for who is working. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kure, for that. Appreciate. Now, one of the things that the previous caller said before Kure, but then Kure, in another word, expressed the same sentiment, is the fact that people are losing motivation to work. And if we want our country to be better, then we all have to put in our heart into it. But then this 70,000 naira was agreed when fuel per liter was 617 naira. Even at that, do not forget the drama that ensued. The labor union were pushing for 450,000 or even over. And they were saying we would at least settle for even 150,000. This was when fuel was 617 naira. So when it was given, the federal government said, no, we're stopping at 70,000 naira to be fair to all groups. Nigerians were saying, okay, fine, let's just go with this. But then now fuel is over 1,000 naira per liter. And the 70,000 naira that was approved for when fuel was 617 naira has not even been implemented. Now, this is a concern from the labor. With that information, what is your take on the NLC going on strike? Good morning. Good morning. Do we still have the caller on the line? Good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Hello, good morning.
Yes. Good to have a lady call. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Elizabeth. I'm calling from Abuja.
All right, Elizabeth from the nation's capital. Please turn down the volume of your device. But let's hear your take on the NLC, saying states can go on strike and the FCT is part of it.
Honestly, it's so pathetic. It's so pathetic that we're in this situation. And honestly, this morning, tears came down my face. My little boy went to school. Of course, he attends public school. They are having exam. In fact, the exam started on, I think, last week. This morning is to have maths and one other subject. Woke him up, did the necessary thing, went to school, only for him to return back under an hour, saying there is no school.
Why is that?
I mean, where is the future? Where is the future? These governments, they crunch us, crunch our children, crunch their future if care is not taken.
We hope we don't get there, Elizabeth.
So, I don't know. These people should just for once be nice. Just, if not for anything, for the sake that at least they be in that position, they know what it is. They should practice what they are preaching.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just, my heart is broken. I don't know what to do. I can't afford, what is it called, private school.
Of course.
So should my son now be denied access to education because the government of the day refused to do the needful? Gosh, I don't know what to say.
I feel your pain, Elizabeth. I feel your pain. But then voices like yours coming out, we need more mothers, more citizens coming out to point out the wrong in order for us to correct it. So we hope we get it right. Thank you so much for sharing your take and your story. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Of course. This really breaks my heart, what is going on. Yes, it's also, like I said earlier, it's worse considering that the federal government or the FCT, right under the federal government's nose, is not also has not also implemented the new minimum wage. It's just like Shatima said, that's a previous caller saying, they made the rule. This was a decision that the executive level did. So they made the rule. Then why are they the one breaking that rule? This is something that it breaks our heart. And someone said this is only the only thing that the government understand, which is the strike, the protest, and all of that. But why do we have to get here? Why are we here? Good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
I'm Mohammed from Gombe State.
Mohammed from Gombe. Let's hear your take. First of all, has Gombe implemented the new minimum wage?
No, Gombe did not implement.
Okay.
Gombe did not implement. From law government, state government did not implement.
So what's your take on the NLC?
Now.
Mohammed, are you with us? So are you supporting the NLC going on strike?
I'm supporting NLC. That is the right thing to do.
So now you said Gombe State
has
to go for strike. Yeah, you say it has not been implemented in Gombe State. Are there any plan on going on strike in Gombe? Is there plan on going on strike in Gombe State?
No, they're thinking about strike. But not the
Okay. All right. We hope Governor Inua do right before that happens. Thank you so much, Mohammed, for sharing your take. So now states that have not even been paid have started. They're calling it out. People in Gombe are saying they have not been paid as well. It hasn't been implemented. Good morning. Good morning. Please turn down the volume of your TV set. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. You have to turn down the volume of your TV.
Okay now.
Okay. Your name and where you're calling from? Yeah, it is. It depends on you hearing me. Okay, your name and location again? Okay, I think we have to let this caller go. If you call in, please tone down the volume of your TV, because if you're waiting to hear from me through your TV, there's going to be a delay and we will not have a clear conversation. Do we have another caller? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, my name is TK. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Good to have you from another state that have embarked on the strike. What is your take on the strike so far?
Honestly, my own input is that I don't support Labour simply because Labour, hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Labour misuse an opportunity given to them to follow other Nigerians in asking for accountability for this government. They already went and negotiated 70,000 naira that is not up to one bag of rice. How can a family live with a 70,000 naira? Today they are crying. I don't think they think very well. In this country, same country, we have yachts, we have jets, we have SUVs, we have into the pocket of few people that are not up to 10% of the entire population. And Labour will be there saying that they want every person can go and negotiate his own. They have done their own. Well, of course, that is how it will be for some time now. Because I think that if you ask question, what is happening to our economy? There is not a rocket science in hearing that technicalities are coming to Nigeria from so time to so time. We can mechanize. We can do so many things. Put the right people in the right position. Not for the concern, recycling politicians with big posts that they are not ready to think outside the box. The only thing they know is to think for the families, their cronies, their political associates. We have seen, we had a country last year, we had Akimumi here. People are saying all over the world because of what they did to Nigerians. And today, we don't have this kind of people. What they have politics every day. Is that how we are going to be? They should think and see how they can go all over the world and bring our technocrats wherever they are to see how we can stay. And if not Labour is consequential to me because they misuse opportunity. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Mr. DK. Feeling, the passion for the country in your voice. Now, he said he does not agree with the labor union. I mean, not the fact that they're, going on strike, but the fact that he felt they did not get a better deal for Nigerians during the tripartite committee that was, organized by the president during the agreement of the new minimum wage that breathed the 70,000 naira. Now that is his anger, considering Nigerians have done great for the country so far, and on an individual level, the government should do better. I appreciate your take there. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
You see, this minimum wage of a thing.
Yeah.
There is no way. I cannot support Labour, and I will never support them.
Why is that?
I cannot support government, and I will never support them. What both parties should do is look for a living wage. A living wage, minimally. I mean, they don't have to. Increase their salaries for us to get a living wage. With what I see now, even on my screen, they said we want a living wage and not a slave wage. Minimum wage is a subsistence wage. They don't have to get subsistence wage. They should get a living wage. But that living wage does not mean 900,000. Even 40,000, 50,000 could be the minimum wage. And what they should do, they should hold the government accountable to make it a living wage. There is a way they in economics. Once you can save from what you have as your salary, once you can save, you can do one or two things. take care of your family, then it's a living wage. That is what they should strive for. The federal government, the state government, their budget and the leakages in the economy is too much. So even if labor is paid 1 million, before you know it, other forces will erode it. Other forces within the economy will erode it. So what they should fight for, they should want the government, let the government let the government sit right and do the necessary things that will make everybody smile. Let there be jobs, let there be turnover everywhere. If not, if they are paid 900,000, it will still come back to the same thing. Thank you. That's my solution.
I get your take. Thank you. Even though you forgot to tell us your name, but
my name is I am Lawal Wasiu.
Okay,
Lawal. I'm calling from Lagos.
Thank you so much for joining us from Lagos, Lawal. Great perspective there. There are lots of things. One thing that I give Lawal kudos for is the fact that he said, I don't support the federal government nor the Labour. So I take it that Lawal is one patriotic person that says Nigeria comes first, which is something we should, point out first and push that agenda. It's all about our country, not individual. Sometimes we get to support people and we get blinded by our loyalty to them that we forget that our main loyalty should be to our country. If our country is great, then you can continue with your loyalty. But no matter how loyal you are to somebody, you should be able to say, this is not going right. Let's fix it for the greater good of the country. So I appreciate Lawal on that. There's been a lot of economics, coming out to give guidance and a bit of a take on what best things could work. Not only economics, public affairs experts and all of that. And this is why we're pushing for more of a stakeholders meeting on things like this. But the new minimum wage is something that should have been passed a long time ago. I think we have few messages. I don't know if we can be able to take some of them. So people have been sending the message. All right, this first one is from Ahmed Bima Enagi from Niger State, a constant, sender of a message. Thank you so much, Ahmed, for this. He said, morning. Issue of minimum wage even in Niger State. Our Governor Omar Bago only paid the state workers, and up to now the local government workers did not receive salary of November. Our Niger State Labour Chairman is not happening local government staff. Okay, it's not helping. I think there was a typing error. It's not helping the local government staff. Now, this is where the representation comes. Nigerian Labour Union should reach out to the local level, because that is exactly what is happening in the FCT. The local councils now are the ones being pointed fingers at, saying you people have not implemented this, and it breeds that concern of if laws are not being implemented in the states, in the nation's capital, where the seat of basically every parastatals that hold people accountable are, including the federal government, talking about the president, then how are other states, how are other local government, been receptive, been receiving, the things that they should have received from the government? This is what we're talking about. The gap is just too much from the top to the roof level. Good morning. All right, I think we lost that call. All right, let's take this message. He said, I am Edris Musa from Zamfara State, Gusau. My opinion on minimum wage, like he said, most of the governors have tried and they need to be held, even though the minimum wage is a law. But some of the states that they did not implement it, they will soon follow up, because they have kicked the saboteurs out of the system. They are the factors of not creating the minimum wage in states, and they are the main beneficiaries at the same time main saboteurs due to their selfish ways. That's by creating ghost workers added to government burden. All right, I get your take. So this is someone that I would assume is maybe at that level of the state's government, and perhaps he has seen some measures that has been done, perhaps maybe in Zamfara State. Now, this is assumptions based on what he said, because there is no much clarity. But he's saying that we should give accolades to whom accolades is due, which is something we always preach here. But at the end of the day, we need to see these people do the work, and then we'll give them their accolades. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I'm hearing you.
Okay, please turn down the volume of your device. Turn down the volume. I can really hear myself. All right, let's go ahead. Your name and where you're calling from.
Hello?
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
Okay. Okay, I've done that.
This is the problem.
My name is Satul.
This is the
from Niger State, Niger State.
Shatul, please, can you reduce the volume?
I'm calling from Niger State.
This is why, if you don't reduce your volume, we'll keep repeating each other. You know, I will repeat myself 1,000 times, and you would have to wait and hear from me through your TV. Can you please tone down the volume? I can hear your TV. I can still hear your TV, like really loud and clear. Have you toned it down? All right, we lost that caller. Please, can we not, be repeating this? Tone down the volume of your TV. You don't need to hear yourself. If you want to watch this part of you calling, then you can watch us via TrustTv News on YouTube to catch up. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
Idris Modibo, calling from Abuja.
Okay, Idris, good to have you from the FCT. Let's hear your take on the NLC protest or strike that is happening.
Anyway, good morning, Nigerians. My take here is both the Labour and the Nigerian government are the same.
Why do you say that?
Yes, both are not serious. I didn't see any level of serious. They are just doing yahoo to Nigeria. But meanwhile, I want to use this medium to advise the Minister of Aviation.
Okay.
If really they are also serious, let this minimum wage go straight to their airlines too. Those airlines too. Because they are not serious too. Let the Minister of Aviation pound those airlines to be able to pay their staff as required. It is not for the government alone. So that it won't look as if it's a scam for Nigeria. Because as I am talking to you, some airlines in Nigeria are paying less than that amount you are paying. Thank you very much.
I appreciate you on calling concerns out on a sector that perhaps a mind has not really gone into. But I think the private level are still trying to negotiate the minimum wage, which in my own take, I'm thinking it's taking longer than it should. All right, we have another message. He said, good morning. Well, good morning to you. He said, I am fully in support of the labor protest in the states where the 70,000 naira national minimum wage has not been implemented yet, because it is a pure inconsiderate and wickedness of the highest order for any state not to implement the 70,000 naira minimum wage, which is not even enough to feed any family right now. So let them go ahead and implement it. Thank God our Benue governor, that's His Excellency Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia, has implemented 75,000 naira for Benue workers. That is impressive. He said Labour should also engage the federal government on price control as well. I don't know why that is been delayed. This is according to Comrade Cletus Arita from High Level Macaulay. Thank you so much, Comrade, for that. I appreciate you. Seriously, that we should give kudos to governors that have implemented this without even making life difficult for their people. All right, let's pick this call. Good morning. Good morning. Do we still have the caller?
Hello, good morning. My name is Abubakar. I'm calling from Sokoto.
Good to have you from Sokoto State. Let's hear your take.
This issue of minimum wage, let me tell you what is happening in Sokoto. When 30,000 was implemented, only state governments were paid 30,000 minimum wage. Up to today, as I'm talking to you, local government have not paid minimum wage. We are still collecting 18,000 as minimum wage up till now. Primary health care and teachers are still collecting 18,000 as minimum wage. Only state government staffs were paid 30,000 minimum wage. Now, this is, we are not talking of about 70,000 minimum wage. How feasible is it? I don't know. So please, and this issue of NLC, it's like NLC they always connect with the state government. Because for how many years now, The Sokoto local government were just being paid 18,000 and NLC did not take any action up to today. As I'm talking to you, we are still collecting 80,000 as minimum wage. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate your take and calling us with our attention to that. Now, I knew that there were a few states because we've heard people complain that there were some states that have not implemented even the 30,000, but never thought that Sokoto is part of it. We have seen the Sokoto state governor online recently for really, coming back and forth with, I think, a social media influencer or advocate just making complaints about insecurity in Sokoto. And we've seen how, he's taking action on this person. But then that would be the first step that the governor can prove himself, starting from minimum wage, and would keep pushing. Hopefully we get to, media would do a job, other stakeholders involved should do their job in pushing and making sure that that is being done, the right thing is being done for Sokoto people. Apologies, my heart goes to people from Sokoto. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, sister.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Abubakar from Kogi State.
Okay, Abubakar. Let's hear your take.
My opinion is I urge all the governors, fear Almighty Allah because of God. Pay them because people are suffering right now in the street. Even our state, as I'm speaking to you, our state, His Excellency Ahmed Usman Odudo, he is paying the 23 for this month, in every month. And
so 70,000 has not been implemented in Kogi.
You said?
The 70,000 naira minimum wage has not been implemented in Kogi State.
It's implemented.
Okay.
And he's paying all workers.
Okay.
I urge all governors to emulate Governor Usman Odudo.
Okay.
Please, fear Almighty Allah. That is my opinion.
All right. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for that call. Abdulkader, yes, he's given kudos to his governor for implementing it. These are people that have at least started having a bit of cushioning of the effects of the removal of fuel subsidy. And we hope as Nigerians, because we all think about not only ourselves, but our brothers, in unity we stand. We hope that other states are replicated. That is what he was pushing for. These are things that honestly breaks our heart, where some people are now receiving 70,000 or even 75. But then other states are still on 18,000 minimum wage. That is really alarming. Now I see why there's a bit of skepticism when it comes to the trust and faith in the NLC, because what is happening with the NLC in states like Sokoto? What is happening to those chapters? How can you still sit and things like this are happening and nothing is being done? This is what things like this are something that draws our attention, and we realize that we have been ignoring some people, some sectors. Some people are going through a lot, but then the media is always here, and that's hence the reason why we open the phone line to hear about this, because we have to know there's a problem to try to find solution. I will keep pushing for people of Sokoto and other states like that. Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from?
Yes, my name is Philip. I'm calling from Jalingo, Taraba State.
Okay, from Jalingo. Let's hear your take. Yes. Have it been implemented in Taraba State?
Oh yes, it has. Because yesterday my pastor was asking some people whether it has been implemented, and they said yes.
Okay, that's good.
Yes. But the issue is not whether increasing minimum wage or whatever, but the price control is my issue here.
Okay.
You can increase the minimum wage to 150,000 naira. If you do not control the price in the market, it will go nowhere. So I want to urge the labor and the government to look into this aspect of the pricing of most especially the food items in the market. I think if that's done, even with less minimum wage, and somebody can survive somehow.
Yeah.
That's my take.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that thought. Now, this issue of price control is something that not only Nigerians, media has done its own part in pushing to say there should be price control. We know how other developed countries have, been able to secure markets by giving a price control. When you're selling the same product, wherever you go, it's still the same product. If it involves traveling, where we know sometimes when you're coming to the north from Lagos, it's a huge journey, then everybody from the north tends to have the same prices. But so I don't know what is happening. That there's been a call, a push, but something just seemed to be holding it back. And we know that sometimes there is a conflict of interest where the people that should push for this are still the people that own businesses and still want to benefit from, the lack of price, the free market situation happening in the country. Good morning. All right, I think, are you with us? Oh, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Hassan from Kogi State.
Okay, from Kogi. Let's hear your take.
Yes.
Are you with us? I think we lost that caller. All right, let's quickly take a look at some of the messages that we have for you this morning. This says, good morning. The issue of minimum wage, I think Nigerian governors are the problem or of everything that is happening in the country. Okay, now the governors are taking all the blame. What are they doing with the money the president, that's the federal allocation, has been given to them? Even the rights the president gives to them to share for people, but they share for their relatives. And that's for those that are somehow close to them, like how it happened in Plateau, or he only gave 30,000 naira for salaries. Why not 70,000 naira? Okay, so Plateau State now is among the states that have not implemented the new minimum wage, and that's his concern. You forgot to share your name and where. Okay, I'll just assume you're from Plateau, but then thank you so much for that message. Everybody, I think, has a role to play. As much as we want to point a finger to the governors to say they also have their own share. I mean, that is stated clearly everywhere. We all know that perhaps the governors are not doing enough. One of the things that we're pushing for governors to do is think of how to maximize the natural resources that you have from your state and take advantage of it. And these are things that we feel, it's not really been done. Hence the reason why every state have to always wait for federal allocation. But then I feel like Nigeria will have so much potential that every state has something to bring to the table without always waiting for, handouts from the federal level. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, this is Obichuku from Benin, Edo State.
Good to have you from Edo. Has Edo implemented minimum wage yet, the new one?
Yes, Edo have 75,000 naira minimum wage.
Okay, kudos to that. So what's your take on the strike?
Okay, my contribution this morning is that the problem of Nigeria is that all of us are talking for the workers now. When they get the minimum wage they're looking for, they will feel that they are settled and they didn't talk and they won't think about other citizens. But what we are advocating as the governor should pay the workers, even the minimum wage is not enough, but let every Nigerian begin to fight for betterment of this country. I think that should be what everybody, and it's not 75,000 or 80, it won't take anybody anywhere. So that's my contribution this morning.
Well, it is a great contribution. Thank you so much, Okechukwu, for that. So he's calling on every Nigeria to put in the effort for the country to move forward. That's him saying you need to hold yourself accountable and do your own part. Because it starts from citizen. We know life has been so difficult for Nigerians, and yes, kudos to Nigerians for, their level of perseverance, but it does not give you the right to go on the street and snatch someone else's phone. It does not give you that right to make life difficult for other people, by ambushing, kidnapping, and all of that, and hurting people and extorting. Oh my God, the level of extortion in Nigeria is really alarming. I mean, just like the previous caller, he said some people are not even civil servants. Some people are not working. So as much as we're advocating for civil servants, we have to advocate for the others. So it's all one Nigeria, right? But then these people that are already even secure, they already have a job. They already have a good paying job, considering the economy. Let's not forget, some people are sleeping without even eating. And you go at every government parastatal, there is this level of extortion that I do not even understand where it's coming from. It is alarming. It is scary. So everybody has a responsibility to play. From the market level, people are trying to extort from people. I mean, I'm like, the rest of the thing that is left is for you to just put something on my head and say, give me, snatch it off. So a lot of things are going on in the country that we need to start by holding ourselves accountable in order to boldly, stand up with integrity and say, we can also hold these people accountable. So yes, that's the message of the previous caller, and I appreciate that message. We keep reminding each other until our country gets to that level, because Nigeria's influence globally, it's really exciting, and you know that Nigeria have better opportunity to make the country great. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from. I'm fine, thank you.
Yes, I'm not speaking with TrustTv.
Yes, you are. Your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, my name is Abubakar.
Okay. Hussaini, where are you calling us from? Okay, from Kefi, Natural State. Good to have you. So Natural State is among the states that have not implemented the new minimum wage. So what's your take on the strike?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. In fact, it's a disgrace to our governors. In fact, really, I'm a supporter of labor to go on strike and on protest.
Okay.
I'm supporting because it's too much. They are living comfortably with their children and with their relatives, and they forgot about those that they voted there in. In fact, I don't know whether they know God or they don't know God. I don't know why. So I'm supporting.
Okay.
Able to go on protest.
All right, I appreciate you calling to share that take. He agrees based on what he feels people from the states, that's Natural State, are feeling as well, saying the labor should go on strike. Now, Natural State, of course, is part of the states, the 5 states that has embarked on this strike today, which we have started seeing the effect. We saw a previous caller, Elizabeth, making concerns about her child coming back home. Now, this is a time where if you go through 2024, you realize that education system has really plunged, right down. Something is definitely wrong. And for the ones that are even able to go to school now, they have to be sent back home because, the teachers are not paid right. And not only the teachers, workers in general. So there is lack of motivation, for that. Good morning.
Hello, yeah?
Yeah, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Okay, I'm calling from Akwa Ibom. I'm Mr. Samuel, and I'm calling from Akwa Ibom.
Good to have you, Samuel, from Akwa Ibom. Let's hear your take.
Okay. The Akwa Ibom state is rather funny that up till now, they are still struggling to pay the minimum wage they promised. This is the highest allocation receiving state in the country to start with. Because if you check what we get from all derivation, you see that we get even more than Rivers State and even more than Delta State. And if Rivers is able to say they are paying 85, why is it so difficult for my governor that he is only putting us on 80? Not that we are asking for too much, but if you look at the cost of living here, it's very high. As a matter of fact, the current salary that I earned cannot take me even for a week if we were to depend on it. And yet I'm a civil servant. And this is a state that is receiving so much from the federal government. And yet we are pretending like there is nothing around. We don't really have it. The governors and the politicians are the very natural disasters we have in this country. While others are struggling with tsunami and all these other things, I think what we are actually struggling with are the human beings called politicians in this country. Because it's not like bring out from your own pocket. It's not like come and give me a dash. It's money that have been given to you from the federal government. Why not be liberal enough to consider the well-being of others? That is the very root of corruption in the country. Because if I can't earn enough to buy for my kids, then of course it's very tempting. The person may want to do otherwise, extort in order to take some more, because the salary finished long ago.
Yeah. I get that pain. So currently, Akwa Ibom is not, the minimum wage has not been implemented.
An entire month is given to a committee to look into it before we talk on implementation. And right now, everyone must go through verification. I'm a civil servant. Everyone must go through verification and starting from the 4th of this month before we will talk of the implementation.
Interesting.
Like, why is it so difficult? And yet they approve vehicles and other things for themselves within minutes.
Yeah, okay. I get that. I get your worries. Thank you so much for sharing that take. So Akwa Ibom, we just learned, is one of the states that have not implemented yet. For the fact that everyone has to go through verification, I think that's the government way of fishing out, the ghost workers and all of that. But where I put blame, so I don't blame them on that part, but what I put the blame is it's been over 3 months, where the new minimum wage has been implemented. So why has this process not started a long time ago, considering how difficult life is? Like I always said, my major problem is this minimum wage was agreed when fuel was 617. Now it's over 1,000 naira. There is no choice, for these leaders, the government. There should be payment like immediately, because 70,000 would not go anywhere, but at least it would be a change from 30,000 naira minimum wage that people are facing. And it's really scary what is happening, especially in the FCT. We have pushed, media is part of the stakeholders that pushed on local government autonomy. And now if the examples of, how the local government would use its power, it's not even been shown already, especially at the local council level, talking about what's happening in the FCT, then there is a problem. Who are we supposed to trust to say this is you doing right by your people? What is happening? We have traveled. We have seen people outside Nigeria have so much patriotism, so much love for their country that they would rather go poor and make sure their country is great. But what is happening to our country? Why is it so difficult to have someone that could boldly come and say, I would rather even give, even with my own, in order to create a change from my community? Why is it so difficult? With the richness of Nigeria, the world sees Nigeria as this great entity, which it is, great country, which it is. But until we at least start from our level of loving our country the way that we love other people's country, loving our country the way other developed country, citizens loved theirs, our country will still be stuck. And that is why I keep, I'm urging Nigerians not to give up. Comments like Nigeria would not be great. Absolutely not. Nigeria has to be great. And it starts with us holding ourselves accountable and even holding the leaders. So, yes, I'm leaving you with that. We have messages that we could not pick. Appreciate everyone that shared in their message. Don't be dated. Tomorrow you can as well send in your message, because we'll be opening the phone line all through the week still to hear from you about this matter. And on the new minimum wage and the protest of the NLC, we'll keep you up to speed with whatever is going on. So make sure you stay glued to Trust Television. I appreciate everyone that called in to share your take. For people that tried as well, thank you so much. We'll take a break, and when we come back, the show would continue. So stay with us.